Welcome everyone. In the last video we have learned about for loop, and now we will try another example for for loop to make more understandable. So in this example what we are going to do, we use an LED and then provide different brightnesses by using a for loop, and you can also use conditions here, but we use for loop now to make the LED fade and bright with time. So it's a new kind of code, and you can say new project in which you are going to learn a few different things. So first of all, let me define an LED pin and add pin number 9 here, and then in void setup we require nothing this time, and the answer for this is why. So let me ask you this one. Can you answer that why there is nothing required in void setup in this code? And the code is that as I told you, that we use an LED and provide different brightnesses to the LED. So try to think about this, and now I think you got up. So the thing is, we are using different brightnesses, and what does brightnesses mean? That we are giving different values of current to an LED, and now these values are different. So what does it mean? That it's an analog process. So we are going to use analog pins, and by default means that inbuilt, if we do not define the void setup analog pins, then it means that analog pins at output. What I want to say that is analog pins pin mode is output, which is inbuilt in the Arduino IDE. So we do not require to declare that we need this pin set output. So the void setup is empty in this case. And now in for loop we use the loop and a variable with fade and provide it initially 0, and after that the fade is less than equal to 225, which is a particular value for LED brightness, and this is the maximum that we use here. After that the LED will burn out, and after this we have fade increment by 5. This is a common example. You can find it also in your example sample codes, and I show you in a moment. And now what will happen in this, we use analog, right? As I told you that it's an analog process, and here LED pin fade. So what does it mean? That it will use the fade value. It will not provide high or low, because the high and low is in only digital conditions. Now we have analog. We provide some specific values to the LED, and these specific values are from 0, starting from 0, then 5, 10, 15 and up to 225, which is the maximum value. And to see the process we just use a simple 30 millisecond delay. You can use whatever you want to, if you want to notice the LED carefully. And after that, this one is for glowing. Now let me use another loop, and what will happen in this one, we have fade initialized at 255, which is the maximum value. Then fade should be greater than equal to 0. I think you understand now what I'm going to do here. I will make the LED from bright to 0, which means I will fade the LED. In the previous I'm increasing the brightness, and now I'm going to fade the brightness. So I use the increment operator, that is fade minus equal to 5. Where is my parentheses now? So here it is. And now in curly braces we have analog LED pin, and again the fade, which is the fade value here, and then again we have a delay of 30 millisecond. So this is our code, and I think you understand the working of for loops now. And why should we have taken the example is because it's a good example here, and it shows many different concepts like the for loop and the fading concept, that how you can provide different values of current to an LED, or you can also provide different values of current to any other equipment like motor or any other equipment, buzzer, microphone, etc. And here we have also learned using analog pins and how we should learn analog pins, and also we do not require high and low in analog pins, which is a common mistake if someone starts to use analog pins without knowing this. And another thing is we do not require to declare void setup. So it's a good code here, and also this is present in your examples. If you can check here in analog, we have here it is fading. Also in basics we have the fade, which is by using if conditions. You can use different methods for different codes. And also I think now you understand that in electronics or in robotics that we are building, the hardware portion is very easy. It just requires some accuracy and experience, and you can build any of the hardware equipment easily. But the main problem is the coding part. So that's why we are also focusing on coding part, so that you can able to self-build the codes for whatever you are going to build, any robot, rover as you are going to build. So for that also, and I know that it's a boring part, programming is not interestable for any electronic students. Most of the electronic engineers hate programming, also I am. So but what we can do for this, we have to study it. So now let me upload the code on the board. Here we have the loops and 2 here. And one more thing I got up here now. Let it compile first. One more error that I have to tell you is that now, as you have seen here, when I'm saving this one, in the previous video I have saved the code 1, which is this here, but as you have seen I have created the new folder, but I did not create this one, and also I did not create this 2 now. But from where did it appear? So this is a form of error. If you copy any code from anywhere and just paste it somewhere and try to upload on your board, then it will not get uploaded, because every code required a certain folder named with its code name. Like here I have 2, so this is 2 here. And more examples is, let me show you the Arduino. Like here I have some other examples, like the color code, a sensor. It requires also a folder named by this code name. Similar in this way, whatever you have copied code from anywhere, you have to make a folder of that code and put the code in that folder, so it will not get any error. So try to focus on every type of error. This is the one that I have noticed, and want that you will not get in familiar with this error. So we are here on the board, and I think you have also done with the last practical. And this for loop code that we are going to work on here, we require an LED, a resistor, and some jumper wires. So here we have all 3. So now let me make the circuit. Here we have the LED and resistor on the negative terminal, and now negative terminal should have to be grounded. So here I have connected it to ground, and we have the LED pin on pin number 9. So as the code is already uploaded on the board, so by the code the LED should have to glow on different brightnesses. So let me have the demonstration. So as you can see here, the LED is glowing and then fading from 0 brightness to 255, which is the maximum brightness. So by this video you can also imagine that how powerful the Arduino is. It just providing different values of current, here it is, to a single LED and making a single LED to glow at different brightnesses. So as you can see, this is happening due to the variation in current. So here is our code working. So thank you for watching the video. I will see you in the next video.